There are always two sides to every story, but rarely does the audience get to experience them both at the same time. Such is the novel gameplay hook central to The Medium, an enthralling psychological horror adventure that splits your focus between a gloomy real-world setting and a haunting parallel spirit world, with actions performed in one having a measurable impact on the other.
There we go.
It's a stylish and clever technique that's used to consistently engaging effect, allowing for some stimulating puzzle design and exhilarating moments of reality-hopping cat and mouse with a truly memorable monster. I quickly warmed to the self-deprecating charm of The Medium's split-screen scream queen, Mary Ann. She's a spirit guide who is lured to an abandoned resort in the Polish hinterland, hoping to uncover the origin of her clairvoyant abilities, and her consistently wry observations delivered by actress Kelly Burke,
Hey, Marianne. You look like shit.
kept the mood from becoming too dire in what is an otherwise intensely disturbing detective tale. Determining the extent of the evil atrocities that went down within the hotel's walls and identifying the perpetrators soon becomes the main focus. One that I took great morbid delight in as I pieced together each and every sinister scrap of evidence along its blood-soaked breadcrumb trail.
'Cause I want you to feel everything.
At predetermined points along the main story path, the screen will split to reveal the spirit world side by side with the material one, and you'll suddenly be controlling two versions of Mary Ann at the same time. It's an incredibly striking contrast, with the environments on both sides of the divide exceptionally well realised. But it's the spirit world that is particularly eerie to explore, with your general surroundings resembling a nightmarish landscape, the likes of which isn't normally seen anywhere outside of a heavy metal album cover. Instead of opening doors, you have to slash through sheets of human skin with a blade made of bones. It doesn't get much more metal than that.
Yeah, that was disturbingly satisfying.
Displaying both realities at the same time isn't just done for stylish effect, there's a practical purpose too. During these times, Mary Ann is able to trigger an out-of-body experience, relinquishing control of her earthly self for a short period of time in order to send her spiritual form to areas otherwise unreachable within the mortal realm.
It's like taking a plunge into nothingness.
In fact, the complementary use of mortal and spiritual abilities is paramount to solving the bulk of the medium's puzzles, which, while never stumping me enough to halt the surging story momentum, still required a substantial amount of lateral thought that extends to either side of the split. That said, it's not just the haunted souls of the hotel you'll have to contend with, but also the ghosts of horror games past. There are plenty of odd-shaped keys to find, valves to turn, and broken lever handles to repair, which on paper may sound like dated throwbacks to the likes of Alone in the Dark. However, it's the use of Mary Ann's reality phasing abilities to uncover and obtain these items that makes the medium feel distinct.
Will you just let me pick you up already?
And that kept me engaged in clearing a path through its increasingly ominous obstacles.
Yes. Fucking finally. Hello? Are you alright?
Don't look at me!
The other force propelling me forward was the medium's principal villain, the Moor. While I certainly enjoyed the strong performances from Mary Ann and the small supporting cast, it's Troy Baker's uncharacteristic and entirely unsettling turn as the medium's chief antagonist that really steals the show.
Clever little skin suit.
The Moor is a malevolent manifestation that haunts Mary Ann throughout her journey, first within the confines of the spirit world, but eventually following her back into reality.
No!
The Moor can't be killed, only avoided, which keeps tension levels high as you shift back and forth between realities, not knowing how or when he'll appear.
I'll eat you up, just like the others.
Baker brings real menace to the Moor's crazed mutterings as he stalks you through each setting, and it's his lumbering presence combined with creepy ambient sound design and an anxiety-inducing score that had me forging my way towards the medium's gripping conclusion while forever looking over my shoulder.
Don't leave me here.
I say that metaphorically since you can't actually look over your shoulder in The Medium. Well, not on purpose anyway. Appropriating the multiple fixed camera angles of the early Resident Evil and Silent Hill games, The Medium uses claustrophobic close-ups and cinematic angles to cultivate an ongoing sense of trepidation. However, the downside to this setup is that there were occasionally brief moments of disorientation each time the camera suddenly switched perspective, where I found myself course correcting with an awkward stutter step like someone who just narrowly avoided walking into the wrong bathroom by accident. Oops, my mistake. The medium uses a unique reality-shifting ability to bring a new dimension to some tried and tested genre puzzle-solving mechanics. It presents an intriguing mystery to unravel and adds a tangible sense of urgency to your investigations by placing a truly memorable villain hot on your heels. An absorbing and nerve-wracking journey from the shriek of its first jump scare to its very last gasp, The Medium is a psychological horror adventure that's all thriller and no filler. For more on The Medium, check out the first 18 minutes of gameplay, and for everything else, stick with IGN.